Give me the keys. In English, please. What? Give me the keys, cocksucker motherfucker. What the fuck? Well, as I'm sure you're not aware of what that scene's from, that's from my next movie on my personal top 20, number 18, The Usual Suspects. The Usual Suspects is directed by X-Men director Bryan Singer and stars Kevin Spacey, Stephen Baldwin, Gabriel Byrne, Benicio del Toro, as well as a few other guys. The Usual Suspects is a pretty simple film with a complicated plot, if you know what I'm saying. It's one of those movies where if you look at it from a distance, it's like, oh, that movie's pretty chill. It's primarily located in one room with a little interrogation. Kevin Spacey's character is interrogated by customs agent, and they're just, doing a little back and forth talking, trying to figure out what happened. Let me back it up a little. So there was a truck that was stolen, and 5 guys were brought in for a police lineup, and it mentions in the movie that usually in a lineup it's the one guy that they really think did it or they know did it, along with 5 random guys, usually homeless people, to be honest, that they just pay and they just bring them in. But in this case, it's 5 guys that are notoriously known for different crimes and different criminal activities, and that's kind of random, and hence the name The Usual Suspects, which I think is irony because if you break it down one by one, they're usual suspects, but when it comes down to the actual lineup itself, it's pretty unusual. So I think that is a play on words for that title. So the 5 guys, Ed Hockley, he's explosives technically. Stephen Baldwin's character, he's like the hard ass, he's, the rough 'em up type of guy. Benicio del Toro, his character is kind of the slickster. He's, he's kind of slick and kind of chill, and, he just kind of pretty sneaky, and that's the... if you don't know, that's the impression I did at the very beginning. Gabriel Byrne's character, like, he's allegedly dead and a former police officer, so he's got ties and he's got the smarts to kind of beat the police. And then Verbal Kint, he's the man with the plan. Like I said, primarily this movie is based in an office where the custom agent is interrogating Kevin Spacey's character, Verbal Kint, but it also has flashbacks because, they're doing a little back and forth, so they're talking back and forth about what happened. So there's actually a decent amount of action in this movie, doing the different types of heists, and it's really well drawn out. And throughout the movie, the only character development in this movie is really Verbal Kint, which you're kind of getting to know him. He's originally a hard, he's like, I don't care about anything, I got my pass, I got immunity, I'll just tell you whatever you want to hear for now, for 2 hours until I can be let go. But eventually the custom agent gets inside his head and he starts drawing out a lot of emotion from Kevin Spacey's character, and it starts to build up. As we go on, we find out the character Kaiser Soze. He's apparently this myth that criminals tell their kids, that they say that it's like, rat on your pop and Kaiser Soze is going to come get you, because apparently he's some notorious badass and he's really scary. So obviously nobody really knows much about him, if anything at all. People that said that they've worked for him never met him. It's always through middlemen, but he's the head guy. But apparently that they get big scores and big paydays when they do work for him, so that's why the 5 guys come together and they're doing a job for Kaiser Soze. So it's definitely something you need to check out and watch, and just honestly just experience it, because it's really great. Kevin Spacey is phenomenal. If you'd never heard of him before, this is a movie where you can tell, like, wow, this guy's the real deal. Towards the end, this movie has a very memorable quote. Not because it's one of the quotes like on Pulp Fiction where it's kind of catchy and it's just entertaining. It's just impactful because what he says is just like, wow, it's pretty true. And he's like, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled is convincing the world that he doesn't exist. The reason that this film is so low on my list is because, like I said, there's not really much character build-up. The plot is not very... it's pretty basic a plot. It's a heist, and it's just a back and forth story of figuring out what happened. Honestly, not necessarily the only reason, because overall it's a great film, but the reason that I love it so much personally is just because the ending, like I said, it's amazing. You do not see it coming. It's just a great experience to watch. But I would have to give the movie... I would give it an 8.8 because it's a great film. It's a beautiful watch, great acting. Kevin Spacey is phenomenal in this movie, but like I said, the plot's pretty bland, and there's not really much to it except for a little bit of action and a lot of storytelling. But overall, great film. Definitely check it out. Definitely a movie that you want to see on Blu-ray, because it's definitely a movie you're going to want to watch again. You want to tell your friends. So check it out. Tell me what you thought. If you've seen the movie, tell me what you thought personally of the ending. And for anyone who hasn't seen the movie, be careful if you do watch the comments. Don't want any spoilers there. But let me know what you thought about the movie. Let me know what you thought about the review. If you think the movie sounds interesting, if you want to see it. Let me know if you like Kevin Spacey as an actor, because personally he's one of my favorites. He's a phenomenal actor. So let me know what you thought. Comment below, subscribe, like, share. Thanks, guys.